Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. If you're new here, my name is Katelyn and it's so nice of you to join. And thank you all for coming back if you are a returning subscriber. I am pretty excited to film this video, honestly. I just took a much needed break from YouTube for a little bit. I had just finished uploading my Vlogmas videos all of the month of December, and that was a lot. From going from only posting twice a week to all of a sudden posting 5 times a week for 4 weeks in a row was definitely crazy. Anybody who's a daily vlogger, I commend you for what you do because you are truly, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. But I took a much needed break. I had time to hang out with family and just do some things that I love to do and just relax, and it was really nice. So with that, I am refreshed, I'm recharged, I am ready to go into 2021 with a outlook that's maybe a little bit different than the outlook I had for 2020, not 2021, 2020. So yeah, I guess we can just get into this video. So today I really want to talk on reflecting on 2020. I want to talk about some goal setting and what I plan to do for 2021. And also this year I wanted to create a word for the year of something to base my year off of. We'll get more into it a little bit later. But those are the kind of things that I want to touch on. But those are the things that I kind of want to touch on in this video, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I feel like at the beginning of every new year, people always want to set New Year's resolutions, and they're saying new year, new me, and you know, that is great, and I'm so happy that there are so many people who feel that the beginning of the year is something that they can kind of restart and create something new and have new intention and new purpose for a year, and I love that. In years past, I have always done these big elaborate New Year's resolutions where I say I am going to be fit, I am going to save money, I am going to do better in school, I am going to XYZ, and it's these big elaborate things where in the grand scheme of things, yes, wow, that sounds great that you want to lose weight, but how are you achieving this? How are you measuring this? How are you ensuring that you're reaching those goals, and so on and such forth. So if you go back to this time last year, I did make a very similar video to this where I talked about my 2020 goals and what I wanted to do, and I watched that video and I just kind of chuckled because if only 2020 January Katelyn knew what was going to be in store, she would not have made those goals, I don't think. But that's fine. And if 2020 taught us anything, it is that we want to prepare as much as we can and we can plan as much as we can. But at the end of the day, life is just going to happen the way it happens, and sometimes you just can't plan around it. So this year, I really want to do things with more intention. I want to be setting goals for myself that have a purpose and that mean something and that are very intentional. So with that, my word for 2021 is going to be intentional. And now this might seem foreign to some people. Some people, this might be like a very old idea and they're like, how are you just jumping on this now? But for some reason, 23-year-old Katelyn has decided, yeah, having a goal or a word to reflect and to achieve for during this year is something that I want to do. So the first person that I ever really saw do this ever was on YouTube, and it was Blair Lamb. I'll leave her channel down in the description box below, but she used to do these every year, and she would have a different word that she would focus on, and she would kind of set goals around it, and she would do things that related to that word, and she would kind of grow, and every year she would have a new word and she would focus on something different. And I loved that idea, and I was trying to think today, this morning, of a word that I wanted to have 2021 be like. And I kept saying it has to be intentional. Like the word that I choose has to mean something. It has to be intentional. Like I have to be choosing it for a reason. And I kind of thought to myself, okay, well, why don't you just make your word intentional? If you're wanting this year to be so focused and so meaningful, I feel like intentional is the word for there. So I was doing a little bit of research, and this kind of summed up what I was thinking the most, so I wanted to share. So intentional is choosing to make decisions and take action on what truly is important to you. And I feel like that is ultimately what I want 2021 to look like for me. So with that, I wanted to create my goals or resolutions or whatever you want to call them with that word in mind. So I wanted them to be intentional. I wanted them to have a purpose, to mean something to me. And I wanted it to be very specific. I didn't want it to just be, oh, I want to lose weight. Oh, I want to save money. Oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z. I wanted them to be very specific. And these may seem like very small goals. These might seem like goals that you could achieve in a week. But I found myself being really let down last year. So I really wanted to have goals that were achievable, and right now these are what seem achievable to me in a year. And I don't want to just have a goal and meet it in a week and then say, okay, I want a new goal now, and then aim for this new goal, but then has totally completely forgotten about this other goal. That's why I wanted these small goals to be stretched out for a year, because I want them to become a habit. I want them to become something that is instilled in my daily life, in my routine, and the way that I live my life going forward. I want these things to be carried on, and I feel like if they're a goal for an entire year, then that's just going to come naturally to me. So that's kind of where I'm at for that. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to talk about my goals for 2021 and like setting achievable goals for myself. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 goals, which might seem like a lot, might seem not like a lot. Again, like I said, they're all fairly basic goals, but they're all achievable, they're all measurable, and they're all things that are meaningful to me. And those are my main things that I wanted to achieve this year. So these are my goals. So my first goal, and these are in no particular order, these are just the way I wrote them down. So my first goal is to create a healthy morning and night routine. I've read it before and I know that it's a thing, but I've never actually instilled one in myself. But having routine in your life is very important. Being spontaneous is important, but also having a routine is important. So I think that developing a routine for myself in the morning, every morning when I wake up, I want to wake up around the same time. I want to do the same kind of thing in the morning. And then once that's done, I can get on with my day. And my day can be as mundane or spontaneous as I want it to be, but I want to have structure in the morning and then again at night. So it could be as simple as waking up at 7, making our bed, making a breakfast, and brushing my teeth. That is good enough for me, but I want to make sure that there is something that I'm doing every morning and a set routine that is going to instill consistency in my life. So that is something that I really want to achieve. This is also really important for me right now because we are back in lockdown where I'm from. So we are no longer allowed to kind of leisurely go out anymore for an entire month. And we are going to be working from home again, and we're going to be doing school again. So this whole semester I am going to be almost 100% remote. There will be about 12 hours a week where I will be in a clinic. So far, we don't know if that will change or not, but that's the idea right now. And I also really just want a routine for that. I want to be able to I want to be able to wake up at a certain time and be ready for my day and not feel like in a slump, or in one day I want to sleep until 10 because I'm like, oh, I don't have class until 1, so I'm going to sleep in my bed till 10. That's not really the motivation that I want to have for this year, so yes. I don't know how to transition any of these. This is probably my biggest and most ambitious goal for this year, and it's probably the most vague goal of them all, while it is still something that is able to be measured and achieved. But I would like to do, not try, I was gonna say try, I would like to do a no spend year for 2021, and that's gonna be on any unnecessary items. So I have set this goal for myself for a couple reasons. One, I no longer have a part-time job. So this is going to be the first time ever that I am going to be not working. And that is not because I was laid off. That is not because of COVID or lockdown or anything. That's just by personal choice. It will be later on in the goals, but I really want to be more focused on school this year, especially. This is my very last year, hopefully ever, of school, and I really just want to get the most out of it. I want to be 100% dedicated to school. I want to be getting grades that are going to reflect what my career is going to look like, and I just thought in my head, and with Austin, we have come to this decision, like mostly my part, but like he obviously is supportive of it, because when you are married, you have to make decisions as a unit. But I have come to the decision that I think that setting aside a part-time job and not having that while I'm also in school is just what is going to be best for me. I might reevaluate that in a month and change my mind, but as of right now, I do not have a job. So getting back into the goal, I'm on a tangent. Getting back into the goal, I want to be not spending money on unnecessary items. That is Disney items, that is makeup, that is random things that I see at Walmart when I go grocery shopping, that is scrolling on Instagram and seeing an ad every 2 posts and wanting to buy X, Y, and Z. Hello, editing Katelyn here. I was just editing through this video and I realized I didn't really elaborate on the main reason of why I mentioned that I don't have a job. The main reason why I don't want to be spending is because I personally am not going to be bringing in any sort of reliable income or like sustainable income. So there is no reason why I should be spending money on things if I'm not actually creating an income at all. Everybody has their own personal preferences and things like that, and their own outlooks on certain things about money and sharing finances and spending and who's bringing in what and who's spending what. But just personally, that's how I feel. I don't feel that I have like a right really to be spending money on something that only benefits me when I'm not the one making that set amount of money. So I just wanted to throw that in here. I am only allowing myself to make purchases on necessities, obviously, so groceries, and I will allow myself to purchase things such as refills. So a mascara for say. Let's say that I run out of this mascara and I don't need to go and buy a $50 mascara. I can go to the drugstore and buy a $4 mascara, you know? So that's kind of what I will be completing for this year. And hopefully that is going to result in us saving more money. That is going to result in me having a little bit more of a healthier spending relationship. Not relationship, but like a relationship with me and money, and not just spending for the sake of spending or spending for the sake of hauling. I have gone back and forth about this a lot over many years, and I find a lot of the time that I am influenced to buy things very well, and I love to share those things that I buy. And if I'm being totally real with you right now, the best videos on my channel, or the videos that do the best on my channel that I make a profit off of, are haul videos. And if you want to have a successful YouTube channel, and if you want to attempt to make money on YouTube, go for it. Do hauls. That is what does the best, I feel like, in a lot of cases. But it takes a toll. And all of a sudden you've accumulated all these things that you're kind of like, oh my gosh, why do I have all this stuff? Why do I not have any money saved? Why do I not have a house yet? Why do I not have the car that I want? Why don't I have the computer that I want? Whatever. You quickly realize that all these little things that you've been spending money on, and just in general, you don't even have to have a YouTube channel, just all these things that you spend money on and accumulate, in the big picture, you have less? I don't know. That's a touchy subject, I understand, but that's kind of just how I'm seeing it right now. So that's not to say that the things I've bought in the past do not bring me joy, or they don't make me love things, and that I don't, like, I love these things right here. These things right here are gonna be the hardest things that I'm not gonna be buying, because they do bring me joy. I do love them. They're my favorite thing. If you're not aware, these are Disney pins. But that's like a little collection hobby that I have, and I do love. And that's gonna be hard. Not going an entire year without buying a single one of these little guys. That's gonna be kind of crazy. But it's just these little sacrifices that I want to make to set like better habits for myself. So yeah, that was a tangent. But I told you it's the most like in-depth one. So anyways. A little bit more of a lighthearted goal. I want to read more books in 2021, and I made myself an actual goal. So on Goodreads, if you don't know, Goodreads is a website / app where it basically is just like a plethora of books that you can track, and you can read reviews and you can leave reviews. I like using it for the reading goals. So for 2020, I have a reading goal set that I'm going to read 20 books this year. That seems like a lot, even for me, but at the same time, when I break it down, that's less than 2 books a month. And with the ability that I have to read, and with the love that I used to have for reading and still do, I think that is 100% achievable as long as I am setting my mind to it. So realistically, there is a lot of time in the day, and a lot of time in the day I spend on Instagram scrolling. I spend on YouTube. I spend on Disney Plus. I spend on Netflix. And while those things all do bring me joy, I really want to kind of pull them back and focus more time on reading, because I feel like that is just something that's so good for your brain. It's so good for your like health. It's good to just take time away from the screens, good on your eyes. I notice my eyes getting worse and worse literally every second, so less screen time is better for me for sure. Another goal that I have for this year, I kind of touched on earlier, but I want to become a more dedicated and studious student. And that's probably a pretty like broad goal, but ultimately I want to achieve this by getting on the dean's list. So last semester was probably the hardest semester ever. It was our very first semester where we were learning online completely, and it was a challenge to say the least. But I was still able to make dean's list. And I feel like that just set a tone in me, because I'm like, I did not put a lot of, like, I did put a lot of effort into school, but not as much as I could have, not as much time that I could have, not as much knowledge that I could have had, and I still made dean's list. So I think that's a very, very achievable goal for me. A dean's list goal is, or a dean's list for here at least, is an 80 average or above. So 80 in all your classes or above, and then you make dean's list. So I think that is very achievable for me. I think last semester I had like it was either like an 85 average or a 92. I don't think it was, no, it wasn't 92. I think it was like 85. Something like that. So I want to achieve that again this year. So yes. And then my last goal is that I want to do a healthy activity daily. In the past, I really struggle with healthy body image. I struggle with healthy eating all the time. I struggle with working out. I struggle with that constantly, and I feel like obviously I am not alone in that sense at all. But I've really noticed it this year, or I guess last year, where I was not being as active as I should be for the entire year, and I was just eating a lot more unhealthy than I do, eating a lot more in general than I do. So I just kind of want to change something, because a lot changed in one way, so I want to just like if 5 things change, like I want to focus on one thing. I don't want to say, okay, I need to work out, and I need to eat healthy, and I need to diet, and I need to be running a marathon, and I need to do this and this. That's going to be too much. I just know in myself that I'm going to get discouraged, and I'm going to give up. So my one thing for this year to attempt to have a healthier lifestyle is to do something healthy every day. Do a healthy activity every day. That was hard to say. So whether that be a 30-minute workout, whether that be going for a walk with the dog, whether that be doing a 10-minute meditation, yoga, stretching, a run, anything. I just want to do something that is healthy, active, daily. So I'm not trying to make myself lose weight. I'm not trying to make myself gain muscle. I'm not trying to do anything in that sense. I just want to bring it back to the basics and just do something active. A lot of my time recently has been sitting at this desk, or sitting in the couch, or sitting on the couch, or sitting in bed, laying in bed. It's a lot of just sitting and a lot of not doing, and I want to get up and get active and just do things again. So yes. So those are my personal and just kind of like mental and physical goals for this year. And I mean, I am making a YouTube video, so I figure I would add in some YouTube goals. And I'm gonna be very real with you guys. I love making YouTube videos. It is seriously one of the best things ever. I like to consider it like a job, because it's very cool to consider something that you love a job. I love that idea. But this is not my career. This is not something I want to be a career. This is not something that I plan to be a career. There's a lot of people on YouTube who aim to reach a certain number, or they aim to reach a certain profit, or a certain amount of collaborations, or a certain amount of whatever. And that maybe was me a couple years ago, but after going to school for something that I love, and after realizing that that's what I want to do as a career for the rest of my life, it has made YouTube so much more enjoyable, if I'm completely honest with you. So I am not making goals that are, I want to reach 10,000 subscribers. I am not making goals, I want to make this much money. I want to make goals that have intention. They are intentional. Back to my word for the year. So for my YouTube goals, I want to create an environment that provides benefit to others. I want you guys to, if you're choosing to watch my video, I want it to bring benefit to you. I want you to feel good after watching it. I want you to feel like you've learned something after watching it. I want you to feel like you took time out of your precious day to watch my video, and I want you to take something from it. So I really want all my videos to do that. And you know, it might be something as basic as like, this just made you happy to watch. You didn't learn anything. I didn't teach you anything. There was no motivational speaking in it, like nothing of like substance, other than the fact that you might have been having a bad day and you got to watch my video and it made you smile and it made you happy for 10 minutes. And like, that's good enough for me. It's brought you benefit. So I really want to do that more. So there will be a lot less hauls on here. Actually, I mean, I'm not gonna say there's gonna be no hauls, but it's very unlikely that you will see any hauls on my channel this year. I don't find benefit from those. I don't get joy from watching those on other people's channel. I don't get joy from watching them on my channel anymore. But you'll find a lot more vlogs, a lot more cooking videos, a lot more live chats if you like these kind of videos, stuff like that, just so that we can, you know, have more of a like human, like more of human interaction. Like I'm on YouTube because I want to connect with people, you know, and I want to share my life with you, and I want more like humanizing interaction. If you're watching this video, if you've watched my videos for the last year and you've never left a comment on my video, like I encourage you to leave a comment, not because of engagement and not because of like having more interaction based on numbers wise, but just based on that, like you're watching my video, like I'd love to chat, I'd love to talk. Yeah. And then my other goal is that I want to create content that I love and that I enjoy. I've had so much fun the last like couple months editing videos, and I never used to have fun editing videos, but now I'm like filming things that I like to edit, and I'm like doing a little bit of different like cinematography. That's used very loosely, very loosely. But like more creative ways that I'm like filming, and then more creative ways that I can edit. And then more just like little things like that. Like I love that. I love that. And I love watching what I eat in a day. Or I love watching what people are doing in their day. I love watching vlogs. Vlogs are my favorite things to watch. So I want to provide that for you because that's what I enjoy. So I'm sure there's other people out there who enjoy the same things as me. But ultimately, this is my channel. This is something that I use as an outlet, that I use creatively, that I can have fun with. And I just want to be creating things that I love and that I enjoy. And finally, just having intention with my YouTube channel. If I'm posting something, I want to ask the question, why are you posting that? Are you providing benefit? Are you providing joy? Are you providing fulfillment to yourself and others? So that's kind of what I'm going to be reflecting on, not only on YouTube, but my whole life this year. So that was a pretty like deep video, definitely a long video, I'm sorry, but I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you are choosing a word for this year, let me know down below what your word's gonna be. If you're taking inspiration and using the same word as me, let me know. Like that's really cool, and then we can kind of talk and chat kind of throughout the year. If you want to see more touch base videos like this, so that you can see kind of like how I'm feeling throughout the year, where I'm at with my goals, what, like, if anything has changed, if there's any new goals added, anything like that. I would love to do something like that if you guys are interested in seeing it as well. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you all have a very happy new year. I hope that you are just feeling blessed and just joyful and purposeful this year. And I hope that you are doing things with intention and intentionally, and that you just have the best year yet. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!